You've had this version of the plan before. Start fresh Monday. Wake up earlier. Exercise. Finally work on that thing you've been delaying for 2 years. Monday comes. You do it. Maybe twice. By Thursday, you're exactly who you were. And the worst part? You don't know what's going wrong. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You just never got shown the right system to start. Meet Arjun. Smart. Ambitious. Genuinely wants more from his life. He has skills he's been meaning to develop, a version of himself he's been meaning to become. But every morning starts the same way. Phone first, then coffee, then somehow it's noon, and the only thing he's accomplished is watching other people live the life he wants. He doesn't lack ambition. He lacks a system small enough to actually start. One evening, a former colleague invites him to dinner. Her name is Meera. Same age, same starting point. But something about her has shifted. The way she carries herself, the calm certainty in her eyes. Arjun asks what changed. She smiles and says, I stopped trying to transform my life. I started buying my future 1 cent at a time. Arjun didn't get it at first. Meera leaned forward and said something that rewired the way he saw everything. 1% better every day for a year. Do the math. You end up 37 times better than where you started. Not because of one big leap, because of 365 tiny ones. Think of it like a mutual fund SIP. You put 1,000 rupees in the first month. At first it looks tiny, barely worth tracking. But each installment buys units, which earns their own returns. 10 years later, you have a corpus you couldn't have built in one big deposit. Your habits work exactly the same way. The problem isn't that you're not doing enough. It's that you keep trying to make one big deposit, a transformation week, a perfect routine, instead of small installments every single day. Meera told Arjun to pick 2 things he'd always wanted to start. Probably for years. For him, exercise and reading. Here's the part most people get wrong. They hear exercise and think gym membership, 1 hour minimum. They hear reading and think 30 pages a night. Then they do it for 4 days and collapse. Meera told him to start so small it felt almost embarrassing. 5 minutes of exercise. 1 page of reading. That's it. Arjun laughed. That's going to change my life? She said, it's going to change the identity you have about yourself. And that changes everything else. Here's what nobody tells you about starting small. Your brain doesn't measure the size of the habit. It measures whether you showed up or not. Show up for 5 minutes, your brain logs. I'm someone who exercises. Do it 10 days in a row, and that identity starts to harden into something real. You're not building a routine. You're building a self-image. And once that self-image shifts, even slightly, the habit starts pulling you forward instead of you pushing it. By day 7, Arjun wasn't forcing himself to exercise. He was finishing and not wanting to stop. By day 10, he was reading 3 pages. Not because he was disciplined, but because he was curious. You don't scale up by willpower. You scale up because momentum makes staying small feel harder than growing. By the end of month 1, something Arjun didn't expect had happened. The low-grade guilt that used to follow him everywhere, the I should be doing more, had gone quieter. Because he was actually doing something. Small, consistent, real. That's when he added the 3rd piece. The skill he'd been meaning to build for years. For him, it was communication. He wanted to speak confidently in rooms that intimidated him. Maybe for you, it's a new language, a technical skill, writing, design. 15 minutes a day. Daily. Nothing more. It felt like nothing. Until day 45. A moment came at work where he would normally have stayed quiet. Instead, he said what he actually thought. Clearly. Without rushing. The room listened. He drove home and realized that person in the meeting was the one he'd been trying to become for 3 years. Not by transforming overnight. By 15 minutes a day for 6 weeks. Here's what Arjun understood that most people never do. The people who look like they made it overnight, they didn't. You just didn't see their day 43. Their day 12 when they almost quit. Their small, boring, invisible mornings. Most people are waiting for a moment dramatic enough to change them. That moment isn't coming. But this morning is. Here's the real risk of waiting. It's not just time. It's the slow erosion of belief that you can change at all. Every year you don't start, the voice that says you're just not that kind of person gets a little louder. The gap between who you are and who you want to be doesn't close with a breakthrough. It closes with repetition. So here's exactly how to start this transformation. Tonight, pick 2 things. Not 10, not 5, 2. 1 physical, 1 mental. Exercise for 5 minutes. Read 1 page. Make them so small you have no excuse to skip. Track them. A notebook, an app, doesn't matter. Make the chain visible. At the third thing, only when the first to feel automatic. The skill you've been delaying. 15 minutes. Daily. That's it. No perfect system. No idle moment. What are your 2 habits going to be? Write them in the comments right now before you close this video. Because the version of you who writes them down is already different from the one who scrolled past. Also, do share this with one friend who keeps saying they will start on Monday. And subscribe so you don't miss the next video. We are building this 1% at a time together.